This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Say goodbye to the 90s. Fall weather is finally here. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The rain is bringing down those temperatures. Some of us may even hear some rumbles of thunder. Our chief meteorologist, Scott Connell, has the weather first forecast. Scott.
I think most of those rumbles of thunder will happen late in the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, and not with severe weather. Just rumbles of thunder to go along with some rain that is expected across our region. As we look at what's going on right now around the area, yes, we still have a fair amount of clouds. We've had some rain, kind of a little murky, but there's also some thin spots in that overcast around St. Louis and just to our west, allowing for a little bit of sunshine to break through. Most of the rain has been south and east of St. Louis in the last couple of hours, and what we saw in the metro area, pretty light. It's been a little more substantial farther to the south, but even here, it's tending to fade a little bit as you head down towards Farmington, back towards Lesterville. You can see the hint of some sunshine trying to break through those clouds in places this evening. Don't think there's going to be a lot of rain around the immediate metro area for the next 2 or 3 hours. But as we head towards 10, 11 o'clock tonight, we're going to start ramping up that chance for showers. And after we get past midnight, the chances for some rumbles of thunder, which will take us into tomorrow morning. This is all the beginning of big changes on the way over the next few days.
And you can get the weather first forecast sent to your phone anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
St. Louis Mayor Tishaura Jones defended her decision today to sweep a homeless tent camp out of view of her office window. Many of the people evicted from the lawn at City Hall are setting up camp right next door. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live there now with new details on the mayor's moves. Mark.
And some of the most powerful and well-connected Democrats in the nation arrive in St. Louis tonight and tomorrow ahead of the Democratic National Committee meetings. Their arrival has some of Mayor Jones' loudest critics asking if her decision to evict this homeless encampment was really about saving lives or more about saving face. Metal barricades surround the lawn outside Mayor Tishaura Jones' office window.
City Hall is not a place for a permanent encampment.
She met reporters Wednesday morning to explain the timing of her orders to evict dozens of homeless people camping in tents on the city-owned property.
And it's not a good look for the city of St. Louis.
Several of the tents that showed up in recent days came from Larry Rice, the former director of a homeless shelter, before the city shut that down over complaints of large crowds leaving human waste downtown and unsafe building conditions inside. At a Wednesday afternoon press conference, Rice said the mayor replaced one eyesore with another.
Here the castle is totally barricaded, and if that's what she wants the vice president to see when she comes to town, wow. What it does is it says keep the poor and homeless away from me. City Hall's open for business as usual for the rich and powerful, and I don't feel that's the way to run a city.
Signs posted on the barricades claimed the mayor swept the poor out of sight so Vice President Kamala Harris wouldn't see them when she visits St. Louis on Friday.
Those tents have been there for weeks, even months. Why move them now?
We moved them because it was unsafe and unhealthy, full stop.
In a Tuesday statement, the mayor claimed her eviction order saved lives.
That's a bunch of bunk. Whose lives are they saving?
City workers directed several people to temporary shelter. Inside City Hall, new proposals would lift the bans on tent encampments throughout the city. The mayor claims she proposed a tent site 2 years ago but faced opposition.
And not one alderman has raised their hand to say, put it in my ward.
The dispute puts the mayor at odds with a progressive ally, Board of Aldermen President Megan Green.
I am perfectly happy having a shelter in my own backyard.
Homeless advocates bristling at eviction orders coming from the second floor warned they could soon be returned to the sender.
But I think she's going to have a tough time in the next election because she's undermined her base, a lot of people that supported her.
Several people who were living in tents on the City Hall lawn have now moved into temporary shelter. Many more have just moved one lot down, at least one tent set up there now just outside the metal barricades. A sobering reminder that steel fences are no substitute for four walls and a roof. Live downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a U.S. Congresswoman says the City Justice Center in St. Louis is broken. Cori Bush is demanding answers about inadequate medical care, improper use of force, and a lack of basic needs. Justina Coronel joins us live from outside the jail downtown with more on all this. Justina.
Yeah, Mike, so a death happened over the weekend, and just last week, police confirmed to us that an inmate attacked another inmate. That's why leaders are passionate and want change.
If we don't do something honestly, in the next month or so, I wouldn't be surprised if there's another death.
Preventing another problem. It's Alderman Rasheen Aldridge's priority to improve the City Justice Center.
One of the concerns that we heard is, when it comes to medicine and healthcare, that they're not getting their healthcare on time.
He suspects lack of safety too. Over the weekend, another inmate died, the third death within 10 weeks. That's why Congresswoman Cori Bush is calling out the Commissioner of Corrections, listing reported problems.
Other things that we heard is that they're not getting out of their pods. Some of the deaths that's been happening in the jail is the lack of effectiveness when it comes to the health care.
Corizon was the jail's healthcare provider, but now the city is suing the agency. Corizon also filed for bankruptcy this year. Problems inside the facility have been brewing for years. A riot broke out in 2021 and this year.
So during that period of time, there were 3 different folks who were held there who were all assaulted.
Those men are Elad Gross's clients. Gross, who is running for Missouri Attorney General, says things haven't improved.
It sure seems like the conditions are not getting much better, if they're getting better at all. I mean, we've had multiple deaths there just over the last few months.
St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones said they're looking for another jail health care provider and calls for new leadership positions.
The changes at the city jail are happening under the leadership of Jennifer Clemens Abdullah, who I still have confidence in. There have been problems there for decades, and you can't expect it to change under one person over 2 years.
While problems have plagued CJC for years, Aldridge demands immediate action before it's too late.
I think it's an urgent need that we act soon, that we act now.
Yeah, recently Aldridge presented Board Bill 93 to really address some of the issues here. As for the letter, Cori Bush is asking for answers by November 2nd. Reporting in downtown St. Louis, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The mayor of St. Louis wants to give senior citizens in the city a break by freezing their property taxes.
5 on your side's Diamond Palmer attended today's announcement. And Diamond, this is possible because of a state law passed earlier this year.
And Mike, that's correct. The Missouri legislature passed Senate Bill 190 with bipartisan support. It gives each county and St. Louis the choice to enact a property tax freeze for seniors. Already, St. Charles County leaders have said yes. Meanwhile, St. Louis County has said no.
Mayor Tashara Jones says people who are 62 years old would qualify for the proposed property tax freeze, freezing property taxes for them beginning with 2023 levels.
Once in a lifetime opportunity for our seniors to freeze their taxes for many, many years to come.
She was joined by seniors, the St. Louis Area Agency on Aging, the city's tax assessor, and aldermen. Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer from District 1 drafted the proposed legislation. She also addressed people's concerns about it.
What this bill in its current draft is looking at is a version that holds harmless the other taxing districts besides the city of St. Louis, which means that if you have taxes that go towards the museum district, the schools, your special business district in your neighborhood, those taxes will not be affected by this freeze.
Alderwoman Laura Keyes also in attendance. She represents District 11 and called on the city to do more for seniors.
No one in their winter years should have to live the way that some of our seniors, particularly north, are existing.
Seniors had their say too. Ollie Stewart and Robert Powell both agree there should be an income restriction to the proposed legislation in addition to the age requirement.
But when you reach fixed income and you're paying $4,000, $5,000, and your taxes is going up every year, that makes a difference on your fixed income.
Those who fled to what they thought was a better place in the county, now they'll want to come back to the city if they knew that they could get a break on their property taxes.
Alderwoman Schweitzer says once they've gathered enough input from seniors on proposed legislation, that's when the bill will be introduced to the Board of Aldermen. The board will then have several hearings on the bill and then go through a perfection process with the full board and on to the mayor for final passage.